Okay, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's App Demo Jam focused on apps for sales. My name is Joshua Hoskins. I'm a Salesforce MVP, and I'm also joined by fellow MVP, Jeff Grosse from Perio, and also Amanda Nelson from the AppExchange marketing team. Say hi.
Hey, everybody.
Great to be here.
All right, great to be hosting again with you guys as well. Today's webinar will be recorded and available on our YouTube channel, like always, within 24 hours. If you care to follow along on Twitter, please follow along using the hashtag #AppDemoJam. And as always, be sure to ask your questions while the demos are going on in the chat window in the bottom right-hand corner of GoToWebinar. Today's participants include Brainshark, Cloud, DocSign, Kenandy, SpringCM, and also Velocify. So without any further ado, we're going to get ready to rumble. But just before we get into it, I'm going to throw it over to Jeff, and he's going to explain the T's and C's of the App Demo Jam. Over to you, Jeff.
Absolutely. Thank you, Joshua. So everybody, welcome to the Demo Jam today. This is a chance for great competitors to show you what they can do on Salesforce in 3 minutes. It's all about a 3-minute demo with no slides. It's all live. They get one question at the end from the audience. So remember that App Demo Jam hashtag, or you can ask it within the GoToMeeting. And then at the end, all of you who are on the webinar right now get a chance to vote. So we look forward to hearing who you think wins the App Demo Jam. Without any further ado, let's jump into it, Joshua.
All right, our first person up is Brainshark. Brainshark provides sales reps with the training, coaching, content, and analytics they need to be prepared to better have sales conversations with prospects and customers, and more importantly, close more deals. So joining with us today, we have Chris, and Chris is just going to show us exactly how that's done. Over to you, Chris, and your 3 minutes starts now.
All right, thanks everyone. And so what we're looking at right here is Brainshark content within a native lightweight LMS right within Salesforce. You've got all of this content for effective sales onboarding. And I'll just leave the page for a moment so we can actually see all the courses and curriculums that have been built, living right within Salesforce and all created using the Brainshark platform. So as a rep, I can take courses, curriculums, see my progress, run my transcript, and get up to speed quickly so I can get out and start selling even faster. Now, before I get certified on this, I'm going to need to prove that I've mastered the training, and I'm going to do that with our Brainshark video coaching technology. All right, so just to start right away, I'm going to receive an email invitation from my manager. I'll log into Salesforce and be able to take challenges in order to prove that I've mastered, in this case, the elevator pitch, right? I can see the description they've given me, what the script is that I'll need to read from, and how they're going to grade me right down below. So right away, I'll be able to start recording with my webcam. Hi, everyone. We can just record really quick here. And I'll be able to do this whether it is over a desktop or a mobile phone, right? So we'll record this. Hi, Demo Jam. Hit stop. We'll publish the video and send that out to the manager. The manager is going to receive that and be able to see something like this where they're going to be able to grade with star ratings and feedback for each category they've created. Since I nailed it, I'll be able to start selling. Let's jump to an example opportunity where now I'm going to be able to have content within the context of my sale all provided for me, whether this content was created in Brainshark or somewhere else. So in this case, I've got informal content to better educate myself before I even engage with a prospect. Or under the Share tab to the right, marketing approved content I can select and share out that will keep my prospects engaged. Now, if I want to just advance the sales cycle here, this content is going to change based around the details and objects I enter in Salesforce. So now I'm always equipped, I'm saving time, and I can deploy this content, whether it's through Salesforce or an Outlook plugin that will go directly back to Salesforce for analytics. So I can insert, share that along, and know that my prospects are engaged with these activity tables that we're projecting here, or nice looking dashboards that come right out of the box. So from beginning to end, from onboarding to coaching to training to engagement. If you're a content owner, we'll tell you what content accelerates the sales cycle. If you're a sales manager, which reps are engaging with their prospects. And if you're a sales rep, which prospects are engaging.
Time's up. Thanks a lot for that demo, Chris. You know, what I really like about the demos, it really showed that Brainshark allows you to prepare a sales team with on-demand training and accelerate the onboarding, which keeps them up to speed. It does that, but it also, with the training component, it's going to validate the readiness with the sales coaching and ensure that the reps really master their message. And last, I think it powers the sales organization with rich dynamic content that can quickly be created and, like you said, accessed anywhere from the mobile device or directly from the web app. So that's great.
Sure.
Amanda, what questions do we have?
Yes, great demo. Love seeing the live video recording component. That was really neat. The question, Brainshark, for you is, how is the video created? Is it within the platform, and how can you share that out?
Sure. So all content is really created and hosted using the Brainshark platform. So every user will have access to not only the Salesforce instance we're looking at here, but also a Brainshark portal where they can actually author the content, add their assets, and have all of that managed and delivered right into that user's Salesforce environment.
Awesome. That's great. Thanks, Chris. Really appreciate it. All right, next up, we've got Jeff, who's going to introduce our next App Demo Jam presenter.
Awesome deal. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, today, guys, we've got Datahug from Calidus Cloud. It's all about predictive forecasting and sales analytics that provide powerful insight into sales forecasts that predict the likelihood of success in the sales cycle and offers rich visualizations that show what's going to be changed in the forecast in real time. The platform also enables sales managers to coach their teams on the best next steps in their deals to increase the close rates and speed up their cycles. Datahug is fully embedded into Salesforce, fitting right into the sales workflow. That's exactly where customers, know and use Salesforce, so it's all right in there. And Datahug also connects to email and calendaring systems, which is also powerful. So maximizing visibility into sales activity, and to show us exactly what Datahug can do, I got Ryan Collins here today. So Ryan, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Hey, everyone. Ryan Collins, director here at Datahug. Datahug is a forecasting and pipeline management solution used by the entire sales org. From operations to enablement, from the rep to the CRO, will create confidence in your forecast. What we're actually seeing today is that the majority of sales teams still rely on subjective rep inputs, complex spreadsheets, and gut feel from sales leadership. You've all probably spent hours analyzing sales stages or weighted probability to run weekly numbers, only to fall short on your forecast. The problem is we're still completely dependent on subjective information, historical and outdated data, not to mention forecasting ends up outside of where it should be in the first place, Salesforce. That's why hundreds of sales teams use Datahug to roll up their forecast with pinpoint accuracy. Now, the first thing to note is that your entire forecasting workflow is back inside of Salesforce. Being native to Salesforce allows us flexibility to read back to however you are rolling up the number today. Submitting the forecast is easy with Datahug. You'll see the first thing we really do here is show the actual submissions of your team so you can easily identify changes and track the accuracy over time. The blue line represents what's been closed so far this quarter. Orange shows what's committed in Salesforce. And green shows the upside best case, also based on the opportunities in Salesforce. These dotted lines represent the actual submission process, and I'll walk you through how we streamline that now. So first, we'll send your reps an automated email reminder to submit their forecast. This typically takes reps less than 5 minutes each week. The reps can use this to ensure their ops are up to date and easily hit submit, which rolls up the hierarchy to their manager. Now, the next view is as a manager, which is what we're looking at here. I have the ability to not only track my reps' progress, I have the capability to make overrides and apply judgment at the deal level. I can use my judgment to determine in or out, override forecast categories, and adjust the forecasted amounts. These changes are captured and tracked automatically, so all I have to do is click Submit here, and the VP of Sales is notified with full visibility into what I'm calling. If you or your sales leaders have any questions on why the number has increased or decreased, you simply click on our pipeline flow here and instantly see what's moved from the last submission or what's changed from the beginning of the quarter until now. Curious where reps have pushed deals or gone backwards in forecast categories? Now with the click of the mouse, you have real-time visibility without having to ping 8 different people to figure out what happened. An exercise that typically takes sales teams hours per week is easily done in a matter of minutes. I think we...
Oh man, right up to the 3-minute mark here. But Ryan, I really like what I've seen here. So let me just tell you what I see and what I think is cool. So when you went back to the original, looking at the opportunities out there, the simplicity of a switch that says whether they're in or out, visibly by having it grayed out and then also having the color of the switch there. That's brilliant to be able to do that. And being able to see how that's forecasted all the way along there, the simplicity of it makes it so that there is literally no excuse. And then when you went into the part about what's changed, that is, to me, that's also brilliant because there's so much about it that you can't tell without drilling into it. And this just makes it pretty. It makes it simple. And frankly, just kind of no excuse. So I like what I see. Amanda, do we have a question over there?
Yes, great demo for sure. Love all the visuals and orange, and it's always exciting to see, a different approach. All right, we do have a question. The question is, does this integrate into core platform forecasting / quota objects?
Yes, it does.
Well, there you go. There's a
there's not too much to expand on that. It's
short
pretty,
and sweet.
it's pretty,
there we go.
pretty straightforward.
No, that's fantastic. So thank you for that demo, Ryan. That's great, and I want want to see people go and check that out because this really fulfills a need out there. Joshua, handing over to you, my friend.
All righty then. Thanks a lot, Jeff. But we've got DocuSign coming up, and you've got them as well.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to give it over to you then. I'm just going to stay on task with what I'm supposed to do. So everybody, DocuSign enables people around the world to electronically sign documents. In fact, you know what? You've probably signed something through DocuSign if you've done anything on the web lately. But it's all about documents, approvals, and agreements on any device in any time zone without even ever leaving Salesforce. Electronic signatures are just the beginning, though. DocuSign enables an entirely fully digital workflow that saves money, increases efficiency, and moves business forward. And to tell us exactly how that works, I got Andy Zhu with us today. Andy, let's turn it over to you.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you so much. So my name is Andy, and I'm a sales rep here at Rocket Ship Travel. And I've been working with my client, Mark Trout, for the past couple of weeks, trying to get him up to the International Space Station. And so as you can see, because I live and breathe Salesforce, I've stored all my information here for this client. So I've got his phone number, we've settled in on his deposit amount, and all I really need to do is send out this contract that I already have uploaded into this opportunity. So by quickly clicking on this Send with DocuSign Lightning component, it immediately starts gathering all that information for me. So the first step that I need to do then is to just make sure that I have all these necessary components in my DocSign envelope. So the first part would be the document itself, the recipients, and a quick message to them. So I'll say, enjoy the space station. So the next step, once I have a friendly message from, is to just ensure that every single part of that document looks correct. So making sure that the correct information is coming from Salesforce, seeing where I want him to interact with the document as well. So all this stuff can be automatically set up for you by DocuSign. The first thing that we'll see on the screen is this little pop-up here that lets us know that we found a template for this, really meaning that we've worked with DocSign before, and we can go ahead and apply this template, and it'll repeat some of these things that we've done in the past. So it automatically brings in things like the full name, the deposit quantity, and a couple other items too. So things like mailing address or phone number, things like that. So we'll go ahead and send off this document now that we've seen that this is correct. And in no time, it'll land in Mark's inbox. So first thing, once it's confirmed, let's go ahead and switch over to Mark and see what he sees. So because Mark is always on the move and he's always looking at his email, the first thing pops up to the very top. He keeps it clean. Goes ahead and follows the on-screen directions. Very simple. Follow the big yellow button, and immediately he's able to get access to the document. He didn't have to download any applications. He didn't have to put in any additional passwords, but he could option to have that included if he did want to. In this case, we wanted to get him to the space as soon as possible. Clicks the on-screen directions again, follows the yellow buttons, signs, and adopt a signature. And you can update data too. So once that's done, we can click finish, and that's immediately completed. Once we're done here, we can switch back into Salesforce and refresh one time. Within this couple seconds, that document, once completed, is brought into Salesforce. The data is also updated into Salesforce, as we can see right here, and the status is live updated as well.
Ah, exactly what you needed to get to. So that is great stuff. You know, the part that I hadn't seen before was about filling the template that's, you know, a familiar form in there. And that's good stuff because, you know, so often these additional documents that you need to do are impediments to getting deals done quickly. So if you think about the ease of being able to create a document, send it out to the right person, they get it. It's easy to sign. I mean, like I say, I've used DocuSign with lots of other companies that I've dealt with before as a consumer, and it's simple to do. You adopt a signature, you're taken to all of the places that you need to fill in information for it, and then the immediacy of having that come back to Salesforce, kick off that next workflow, it just kind of simplifies the whole process for everybody. So I appreciate that, Andy. Amanda, I'm going to turn it over to you to see what we got for a question.
Yeah, it's a great demo. I always love the creativity and, you know, tying it to a story. That's great. And we do have a question. The question is, can a document be sent to any record in Salesforce that you have contact for, such as lead, contact, user, account, that kind of thing?
Yes. I could answer with a simple yes as well. We work with any out-of-the-box objects. We can do custom objects, pretty much any record inside Salesforce.
Awesome. So Andy, I'll contact you offline so we can get me signed up for the space station too. I'd like to take a trip.
Sounds great.
All right. Good job, Andy. Thank you very much. And truthfully, I am going to hand over to Joshua this time.
All right, thanks a lot, Jeff. So next up, we've got Kenandy. With Kenandy Cloud ERP, you can supercharge your sales team with the power of information. Get real-time visibility across your company and empower the sales team to more accurately quote with better information regarding inventory, capacity, lead times, and inventory locations. Having all the data accessible in Salesforce improves the quoting accuracy and basically increases customer satisfaction, giving today's sales professionals the tools they need to close faster. So with us today, we've got Jeff, and Jeff's going to show us exactly how that's done. Over to you, Jeff.
Thank you. Appreciate the introduction. So I too am going to start off in a Salesforce opportunity. This is an opportunity that I am working for some backup generators for my customer called Edge Communications. And as we can see, it's gone through a specific sales process that we've deemed as a company. And you, at some point, will get to the time in that sales process where it's time to put a quote together. And as I've got my contacts up here on the top, and if I scroll down, I've got my products down here on the bottom, I can see that I've got 2 of those $15,000 generators on there. I will need at some point to create a quote. And so this is leveraging the Salesforce CPQ quoting solution. And I can now start to see that I'm looking at quote 24. And I can see all the information pertaining to that, including the next steps over on the right-hand side and the past activity, phone calls, reviews that I've been doing. I can also come in here and see the related information. Here is that line item that I've got on that quote record. Now, this hasn't been converted to a sales order yet for fulfillment, but it's easy enough to be able to do that. And when your sales team is ready to do such a thing, they can come over here to the right and create a sales order. And this is usually something that's done offline or rekeyed into another ERP system. With Kenandy, we really blur the lines between the front office and the back office, so that as I'm converting that, I get a nice little trip here of being able to see whether I want to override the ship to location that are my defaults. I can pick whichever ship to I want to do at the time. I can also see my available inventory. So something that's important for salespeople in the field is being able to actually know whether or not they can fulfill from a specific location. So if I'm trying to ship to Florida, I can see here in my New York location, I've got 121, and I'm going to go ahead and identify that I want to allocate those from that specific location. But in the scenario where maybe you're shipping it from California, I might want to override the system and take it from there instead. So once I've done that, I can now go ahead and create my sales order. And now quote number 22, as we might have seen, is now going to become a sales order in the system. And really, we've now passed it over to sales order 65 in Kenandy. And from here, I could now enter in my purchase order number that my customer is giving me. So I'm going to enter in that information. I'm going to put in the required date that they want it, which is by the month end. I'm going to save that record, and now I've got something to fulfill against. And as I look down here, you can see where I would end up releasing that, allocating it, fulfilling it. But today we don't have time to demo through all those different steps. So what I'll do just to show you the visibility of information here is just pick one up that was already processed, and we'll look at sales order 63 here instead. And as I look at the related information there, this is what you would see downstream. I'd be able to see the fulfillment for that sales order line, the shipping information, the customer invoice that we sent to them. And when they finally get away to paying us for it, I'm even going to see the customer receipt for that as well. This gives you the ability as a sales rep to be able to monkey bar through the product. And if I wanted to drill out to the shipment record in the ERP side of things and see all the shipment detail and where it's shipped from and what the tracking number is, and being able to track that package depending on the carrier that you might be using. Great way to see the data across the system.
I'm sorry about that. Time's up. So what I do like about your demo is the fact that you've got all of the information right there. It is really supercharging the sales rep with the information. And of course, having that information at the fingertips of the sales professional obviously eliminates the back and forth with the back office. Ultimately, just making one informed company in versus having a front office and a back office. I'm going to turn over to Amanda to see if we have any questions out there.
Hey guys, all right. So the question is, can Kenandy configure in Salesforce CPQ?
They can indeed. So if I'm using the configurator option in the Salesforce CPQ engine, that question and answer page or features and options page could result in one or many line items that present themselves in the quote. And when I convert it to a sales order, it will come across as one or multiple sales order lines on our site as well.
That's awesome. Great demo. Okay, next up, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff for our next presenter.
Awesome. So thank you, Joshua. You know, and if anybody was wondering about the animals that you hear there, I probably should have introduced at the beginning, letting you know that those are our indicators for the presenters that the goat, well, that's about 30 seconds remaining for their demo. And then when the triumphant elephant, which I'm still waiting for a good Salesforce mascot called an elephant, we'll see when that comes along. Maybe they'll buy Evernote someday or something like that. But anyway, that's their finality of the 3 minutes. So here we go, guys. I'm going to jump into the next one. So today with us, we've got SpringCM. These guys automate the contract process and shorten the sales cycle and drive productivity that accelerates revenue. SpringCM empowers sales teams to manage and automate the end-to-end contract management process without waiting on legal for all the stuff that they have to do, like generating and reviewing for approvals and renewals. All that stuff happens all inside the Salesforce environment. You can get contracts out the door to clients faster and accelerate the time to revenue, which is what we all want to do. So with me today, I've got Ernesto Carrera. You are ready to take over the demo jam. So here you go with your 3 minutes, sir.
Awesome. Thanks for that introduction. right? You see that we have our quote here. It's associated to an opportunity, which happens to be an opening day appearance for Jake Arrieta at the Cubby Bear here in Chicago. We have 3 quote lines already set up inside the quotes. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click on this Create Sponsorship Agreement button. What that'll do is it'll show up a quick form that'll just confirm some of the data we're pulling from Salesforce across all objects that are related to the quote, the account, the opportunity, the contact, and the quote itself, even to the point that we can differentiate the different categories of quote line items right inside of our form. And what happens after this is it'll actually generate a preview just to show you your document right inside the system. I can confirm everything looks good, and I can hit save. And so this will actually formally generate the agreement in the system and associate it with the quotes. It'll drop the agreement down here inside the Salesforce record. So if I refresh our little app, you'll notice that our document is right here, right? Contract for Cubby Bear. And it's already been sent out to the customer for review using the contact object in Salesforce. And so going over to my email, you'll see that now I, as the Cubby Bear, have received the contract from the Cubs. And I can actually click on this link right from inside of my email without any special software, review the document right inside of here. From this form, I'm able, as the Cubby Bear, to download the document that you sent me. I can redline it and make a change and upload it there. For the demo, we have a shortcut. So I'll just say we have to negotiate terms, and I'll complete my review. Now, what's really nice about this feature is that it's very vocal, which means that it will actually reach out to all parties. It'll thank the Cubby Bear for sending in the document so promptly. It'll also send a notification internally to the Cubs, letting them know that the contract has come back in for review. And so all that is done using email and an inbox right inside of Lightning. If I happen to be in my email, I'll receive an email like this, right? Letting me know that the review has been completed. And if I happen to be a contract admin at the Cubs, I actually get a link to review the document. And so again, this is all happening with very little friction, right? The document's being routed to all associated parties. You can see that if the Cubby Bear were to redline some terms, they show up here. And using the SpringCM workflow, we can actually route the document back to the Cubby Bear or out for signature, right? And so I'm going to make that selection to send it out for signature, and I'll hit next. And I know I'm about to run out of time. So just to let you know, once you hit send for signature, we integrate with a bunch of e-signature solutions, including DocSign, and that will actually send the document out for signature, collect that signature, and actually come back to Salesforce and close the opportunity.
All right up there without even going over. So fantastic, Ernesto. I like that. So I can tell you that having done contract management projects in the past, we could have used you, and this is going back many years now, but I'm thinking back to how painful that really was when it came to doing all that redlining, keeping track of all those changes, with making sure that everybody's notified, making sure that you get the approvals necessary. And again, this is just a streamlining app. This is all about being able to simplify the process, make sure that you have all your controls in place, make sure you know what's happening, where it's at, who's got it, who's taking the next steps. And then the fact that you can actually work with DocuSign as well, that's just a brilliant thing, because we've got them on the demo jam today too. So it's great to see when apps can work together. So I like all that I saw. Amanda, what have we got for a question today?
Sure, we're going with a non-yes or no question. So,
great idea.
how do you? Oh, there we go. How do you work with other apps? And what other apps do you work with in terms of your showing Salesforce CPQ? You talked about DocuSign. Are there other integrations you can share?
Yeah, I mean, we have native integrations to, like I said, DocuSign, other e-signature providers as well. We really just integrate. We can integrate to almost any app in Salesforce as long as it's using Salesforce objects as a mechanism to communicate. SpringCM can pull data and push data back to any object, whether it's standard or custom. So for us, you just let us know what you want us to grab information from and where you want us to send information back to.
Salesforce plus AppExchange plus APIs equals awesome.
Exactly.
Cool. Well,
Exactly.
awesome. Thank you very much for that, Ernesto. Appreciate it. Joshua, I'm going to give it over to you for our final one today.
All right, thanks a lot, Jeff. Before we move into our final App Demo Jam presenter, I just want to remind everyone that this will be the last Demo Jam before voting. So please be sure to check out the link that will be posted in chat to vote. It will come up on your screen, and we'll accept votes directly after this. So next up, we've got Velocify. So Velocify Pulse lets sales leaders enforce their unique sales process based upon their years of industry and sales experience, not the infamous black box or algorithm that some people care to abide by. Joining us today, we've got Alex, who's going to show us just exactly what Velocify does. Over to you, Alex.
Thank you. What should I do today? I know I have all these past due tasks, but I know my manager is also telling me to follow up on that opportunity. But if I don't start prospecting some new accounts, then next month's going to be tough. Oh, and I also know that, I got to work some of the new leads, make sure I'm following up on those. But, I got to choose which list should I go into. When I go into a list, how do I sort it? And you're probably wondering what I'm doing or thinking I'm prepared. What I'm actually demonstrating to you is actually what happens most commonly on your sales floor. Reps are making tons of decisions. And what you do know is that there is a different distribution of reps. You have your A-list players, you have your B players, you have your C players, all the way down to your Ds and Fs. My question to you is, what would happen if you could get every sales rep to consistently do the things that your best sales rep does each and every day? And that's the coolest thing about Velocify, because that's what it allows you to do. And the way it allows you to do that is by giving you a world-class UI user experience to guide the rep through a centralized strategy that management controls. This is the UI. Reps just work top to bottom. There's no choices. It's giving them all the different pieces of information they need to be successful, as if a manager is over their shoulder. So in this case, I have 2 new leads. I'm going to call ASAP, leave a voicemail. I can click the dial. That's going to give me my dialer. It's going to allow me to have local presence, pre-recorded voicemails, transferring, and on the right-hand side, all the preview elements, everything I need to know at my fingertips, like a progress bar, all the notes I've left, other apps like Marketo or maybe even DocSign. I can also add tasks from here or see related lists of previous tasks that were completed. I can also edit fields. But I'm staying on this page as much as possible. Another way that we allow this to happen is we build an email composer into the UI. So when it's time for you to send a personalized email, you can bring up the email composer and it'll actually load up a template that it's suggesting you send for this scenario. So again, guiding the rep, but still allowing them to have the art in their day, right? They can focus on having relationships, sending the right email that people are going to open, and having conversations so that they can stay focused, not jump between 3 or 4 different applications, go outside Salesforce, come back in. It's all here in one spot. Okay. The second coolest thing about Velocify is not only do you allow reps to follow this prescribed strategy, but you can also reward them for doing that. And that's so much more than a normal gamification. What we can do is something we call performance-based distribution. That's going to allow the system to make a data-driven decision based off who is working which records best.
Oh, time's up. Unfortunately, you didn't get before the 3 minutes, but you still showed a lot of great stuff. And actually, the last thing you showed, this distribution rules based upon performance, is really, really sick. I love it. And one of the things that I also saw is it really is an all-inclusive, world-class communication system that's right there at the sales rep's fingertips to allow them to follow the optimal sales process, and just like all the A-rep players. But it brings all of that together in one place within Salesforce, and that's one of the greatest things that I see about Velocify Pulse. So thank you very much. Amanda, what questions do we have out there?
Sure. So is it possible for the rest of the organization to have access to the process that's set up in case they want to, be privy to that, like marketing, for example? Like, how do you bring in other teams?
Sure. So they can definitely be set up, and because there's many different ways that you can customize that view for different roles. So if marketing wants to be in there, or if they just want to look at the rules, they can get access to do that. It's just a matter of giving them the right permissions in Salesforce.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Really, really appreciate it. And now I think it's time to vote, isn't it?
It's that time. So there you go. There's your link. So here's what we got going, guys. You guys have the chance now to tell who you think did the best job on the demo jam today. Quick note for all the folks who may be attending today who are from some of the competitors today. You can't vote for your own company. I know it would be nice, but we just got to keep it fair here. So everybody else who is in the audience today, though, who isn't working for these companies, absolutely want to have your votes in, because you affect who wins this thing. And there's actually not only just bragging rights, but there's a really cool trophy that comes out as part of this too. So, you know what? I've got a couple of announcements while you guys are voting today. There is some exciting stuff coming up March 30th. Now, I can't really
how exciting.
I know. I can't really tell you what it is, though. This is kind of the tease, but you know, Salesforce sometimes does that. But here's how you can find out more. There's a hashtag.
Hey guys, we're having one little issue with the form. I'm fixing it right now, so just hold on. The link will be the same, but just keep going, and I'll open it back up in 1 sec.
Sounds good. Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, we got this thing coming up on the 30th. It's called Appy News. There's something coming out about the AppExchange, but that's really all we can tell you. Now, I'm not an insider at Salesforce. I know lots of people, but there's actually some really cool stuff coming out that you're going to want to be part of this. So look for the the hashtag, not the app tag. Maybe there'll be an app tag someday too, but hashtag Appy News, AppyNews. That is how you can find out on March 30th what the coolness is. Now, there's actually another cool thing. So, you know, Southeast Dreamin'. That's coming up in Atlanta. That's actually March 30th and 31st. So perhaps the whole way that they'll kick off Southeast Dreamin' is with Appy News. I think that's a good way.
That could be interesting. That could be interesting.
I mean, yeah, the gauntlet has been thrown. I think really Southeast Dreamin' needs to start off that way. But if you're not familiar with what Southeast Dreamin' is, this is a community event going on in Atlanta where we got lots of great speakers out there talking about Salesforce. This is led by the community. And so I really highly encourage people to check that out. Go look at it.
They're also going to have a demo jam as well.
Exactly. More demo jams. So take a look for that. It is actually found at Southeast Dreamin'. There's no G.com. You can find out more. You can register. It is actually at this very moment, 13 days, 9 hours, 21 minutes, and 15 seconds till it starts. So
that sounds amazing. Speaking about more demo jams, I'm actually crossing off one of our destinations. You know, Jeff, I like to travel, and I've always wanted to travel to Australia. So actually, I get the opportunity to host a demo jam with our best friend, Jason Lawrence, in Sydney next week. How exciting is that?
As well as Josie Childs, and I'm now hashtag jealous.
Jeff, I'll send you pictures. What can I say? But yeah, Josie, Jason, and we're gonna be doing another epic demo jam out there, and I couldn't be more excited. You know, Peter Chambers and his barbecue war stories. You know, I'm gonna try to have some barbecue out there as well. So it should be cool. I start flying on Saturday, so I'm pretty stoked about it. But we have demo jams all over, and you know, we invite you guys to definitely show up for the world tour and check to see if there's a demo jam on the agenda. I love the fact I just got invited to speak to do a demo jam in Spain later on this year too. And I mean, it's a great way to get information readily available in bite-sized pieces, just all about the content. So do look out for demo jams coming to your city, because we really like to see you guys in person as well.
Absolutely, including New York City coming up in May. That's one of my favorite ones to go to. In fact, I've gone to that one a lot of times. I may live in the Midwest, but New York is a favorite place to go to for world tours, for app demo jams, and seeing my friend Amanda, who lives out in that area. So Amanda, how are we doing right now with the voting? Is everything going well? Are we getting all our numbers in?
Yeah, numbers are coming in. I'd love to just leave it open for just a few more minutes, because we had a little flub up, but we're good now. The votes are coming. Yeah, we're really excited about those world tours. We've got, and we're doing demo jams all over too with those world tours, and I can't wait for New York on May 2nd. That's going to be a great one.
Yeah, and you're gonna get to see Amanda. Who doesn't want to see Amanda?
Exactly. She's our friend, and she's probably the one hitting the button for Appy News on the 30th. So she's probably the one who's triggering all the excitement out there.
Appy News is going to be exciting, and we just definitely follow the hashtag Appy News starting Monday. We're going to be giving some teasers out, and can't wait to let you guys know what's in the works.
But now, see, that was purposeful, Amanda. I kind of tossed to you in hopes that you were going to drop something more.
Didn't work.
I don't know. We've got quite a few people on the line, so I might get in trouble.
Oh, man. No, it's going to be really cool. Looking forward to the news. I think everybody should be very excited about that. The AppExchange not only being 10 years old and growing like crazy. What's great to see, and I mentioned it a lot of times on this broadcast, is that being able to see how the new features that Salesforce has can be taken on by these AppExchange partners. It's amazing. So when you think of the Lightning experience and how these interfaces and the abilities that people have to create great looking applications has changed over the time, I think it's just amazing. And, you know, Spring 17, of course, with all the great things that it brought in, brings new capabilities. So keep watching your AppExchange apps that you guys have, because more features are going to get integrated into that. It's fun.
Nice. And there are so many features, Jeff. I mean, I'm just recently trying to like study up on some of the new exciting things, especially with the release exams coming out. You do need to be aware of the new features being released, and the release notes is just getting longer and longer and longer.
Pages, my friend.
Oh, geez.
But
Good,
that's the great thing about it. I mean, it makes it fun to see all those things. And you know, people refer to Dreamforce as being kind of a family reunion, and having release notes come out as being kind of like a Christmas that you open up and you see what presents are in there for you in Salesforce, and that's just what makes it fun.
Absolutely. That's definitely some good midnight bedtime reading. I think we've got our voters in.
All right, I think we got our drum roll here. Ready, set.
All right, and today's winner. Oh, we have a sound effect?
We did.
Do it one more time. Go for it. Nice. And today's demo jam winner is Kenandy. Congratulations, Kenandy, on your demo.
Congratulations.
Let's say a couple words.
I would. I'd like to say thank you. I am completely flattered, especially given the peers that I had on this presentation. My jaw was open on just about all of them. So I'm very flattered, and thanks a lot. This is my first demo jam, actually, so it's an exciting experience, and I was glad to be a part of it. Thank you.
Good job. Man, the pressure was on. People were all watching, and you did well. So awesome deal. Well, we're going to hand it back over to Amanda, I think, to close it out with our last final news here.
Congrats, Kenandy. Congrats to everybody, Kenandy. I'll be in touch to send you your trophy, which you can put out on your lobby or on your desk, or carry it on your back, whatever you'd like to do. And we have more demo jams coming up. So check out Sydney World Tour, where you can meet Joshua in person. Southeast Dreamin', which is in North Carolina, I believe, or South Carolina? South, March 30. And then our next Demo Jam webinar, every third Thursday, is happening right here, same time, same place, April 20th. We're going to see more sales apps. So definitely appreciate everybody's participation today. Make sure to continue to follow the conversation at #AppDemoJam on Twitter, and go to appdemojam.com to check out these apps and even install them. Thank you all. Thank you, Jeff and Joshua, for an awesome job helping to organize and host this, and we will see you all next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.